Hey guys, welcome back to Clean Green Being. My name is Erin.
Go follow us on Instagram and be sure to subscribe and click the bell notification icon. We have new uploads every Sunday and Wednesday and you won't want to miss any.
Today I'm applying a full face of Pure Cosmetics and I'll also review the products that I used at the end. Is there mascara in my hair? It's raining outside here. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just a good day to play with some makeup. And Pure Cosmetics is a clean beauty brand that's been around for quite a while, but it's not one that I've tried yet. So I purchased a full face of Pure Cosmetics, well, minus my brows, but everything else is Pure Cosmetics. And just a little bit about the company. They do consider themselves an industry leader in the clean beauty industry. And their website states that they're free of mineral oil, petroleum, SLS, and they're cruelty-free. But one really important thing to note about their ingredients, and I didn't even realize this until after I bought the product, is that not every single one of their products is paraben-free, gluten-free, or vegan. And for those 3 items, you have to look at the packaging on each product or go on their website and look at the ingredients for each product, because you can't assume that their entire line is paraben-free, gluten-free, or vegan-friendly. So that just goes to show that the definition of clean beauty is kind of relative. Yes, this brand doesn't include a lot of ingredients that we consider to be harmful or potentially harmful, but for the products that contain parabens, for example, I don't consider those clean whatsoever. So you just have to be mindful and don't just approach any brand that claims that they're a clean beauty brand and assume that every single product is free of absolutely every nasty, harmful thing that you're trying to avoid. You really still have to do your due diligence and check out the products and read the ingredients for yourself. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieved this look, including this glowing cheek situation I have going on right now, as well as hearing my thoughts and opinions on each of the products that I used, then keep watching. So first up was the 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer. And one thing that I love about this product is that it's a 2-in-1. You get the foundation plus the concealer in one product. And for the price of some of these clean beauty products, it's nice to not have to buy 2 separate items. Although I'm always a little skeptical about how a product can work as 2 completely different products. But anyway, I was pleasantly surprised. As a foundation, I think that it provided pretty good coverage, and the instructions were to use 1 pump for light coverage and 2 to 4 for medium. And I have to say that the 1 pump was probably twice as much as I needed on my face. And I don't know what you would do with 2 to 4 pumps of this product unless you need to just really layer on. It is thundering like crazy outside. I don't know if you could hear that, but anyway, and I went in with my foundation brush, and I just didn't really like how it went on with the foundation brush, so I did end up going in with a sponge and blending it a little better. Didn't seem to want to blend. It also kind of caked up a little bit right here in my T-zone and a little bit on my chin area, and that's something that I struggle with different foundations. So I did blend it out as best I could, but it is something that bothered me throughout the day. Now, as a concealer, I did like the way that the product went on, and I don't typically like using a brush for my concealer, but it went on a lot nicer than the foundation did with my concealer brush, and I didn't actually have to go in with a sponge and blend it out anymore. I think the coverage was okay. I can still see kind of some of my dark circles under my eyes. It's definitely something that I'll continue to use. I don't think it was a total fail, but it wasn't as full coverage as I typically like to have on my under eye circles. And overall, it doesn't feel too heavy on my skin, but you can definitely tell it's there. So I would say it's kind of right in the middle of the road as far as the way that it feels sitting on my face. Next, I used the Pure Out of the Blue eyeshadow palette. And a lot of these colors I just think are really gorgeous. I'm gonna have to do another eye look and use this electric blue right here. I just think it's so crazy pretty. But I really love the colors in this palette, but I am obsessed with the colors in this palette. I wasn't totally in love with the way that the product performed. I had to use a lot more product than I typically do. I was finding that the initial layer wasn't really providing as much color as I like to see, but you know, you might be different and not like it to be as prominent on your eyelid as I do. And I was finding that some of the colors were a little difficult to blend. I was struggling particularly with this dark one. I even put 2 lighter colors underneath first, and typically that allows me to take my darker colors in on the crease and blend it out pretty well, but I kind of struggled with that. So overall, I do really love the colors, and I'm definitely going to use this again, but when it comes to performance, it was just okay. Not the best, not the worst, but I definitely liked it enough to continue using it. Next, I used the On Point liquid eyeliner, and I liked this more than I thought I would. I tend to be pretty particular about my eyeliners, but this one actually had a nice felt tip to it, and you can see that I did go in with kind of a crazy cat eye, but I just wanted to try out the felt tip and see how it performed. I don't typically go quite this aggressive on my wing, but I do think that it turned out really beautifully, and it did wear quite nicely throughout the day. I didn't lose any product or have any smudging from the eyeliner. So this is definitely something that I'm going to purchase again and keep as a go-to liquid eyeliner in my makeup bag. Then we have the Fully Charged Primer and Mascara. And full disclosure, I did try these out yesterday because I ran out of my regular mascara, so I just opened these and used them. So it was my first day for everything else, but I did use these yesterday, so I have a good idea of how it wore over yesterday and today. And I have to say that I don't know that I necessarily noticed a difference using the primer versus not, so to be honest, I don't think I would buy the primer again. It wasn't significant enough of a difference for me to purchase it again or think that it's worth using or taking the extra step under the mascara. But the mascara, on the other hand, I did like how it went on. I do like the brush. I tend to like those kind of fluffier brushes like this. and the product went on really nicely. And honestly, when I used this yesterday, I thought this was going to be the real showstopper piece of the line, but it did tend to flake off a little bit throughout the day. I was finding some flaking under my eye that I was having to brush off, which was just very annoying. But I do love the mascara. That's just really the only downside that I found to it. So it's definitely something that I'll use again, but it's probably not going to win me over as my new favorite mascara.
And here we have the translucent loose setting powder, and this one just kind of confused me. The container itself is just kind of strange and hard to work. You kind of have to twist off the lid and be sure you don't spill any out. And the loose powder is inside, and the applicator is just bizarre. I think it's supposed to be like a makeup sponge. It's like if a makeup sponge and an eraser had a baby, this is what the texture would be. It's just very strange, and I've never had an applicator like this for loose powder. I always use a brush. I just want it to go on lightly. And this feels like, if you remember when we were in grade school and you would make a design on a piece of paper with glue and then sprinkle glitter on it and shake it off, that's what I feel like I'm doing to my face. I'm just sticking it on. And the coverage is fine. The powder itself seems fine. It wore pretty nicely, and it's just kind of awkward to twist on and off and to get the powder onto the sponge. And then it's really difficult to control the amount because it's hard to get down into the powder and you can't really see what you're doing, and then you're left with basically whatever sticks to the sponge slash eraser. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me. So I think it's fine if I, use a brush in the future, but the powder's fine. It's just this applicator is just kind of weird. Oh, and one last thing about it too. I couldn't really get under my eyes. It's such a big, bulky sponge that I couldn't get. It was difficult to get around my nose and under my eyes. And I really couldn't get into those places like I do with a brush. So overall, the powder itself is fine. It's just the sponge applicator that I'm not into.
And lastly, hello, is the Out of the Blue blush palette in color Beam of Light. And I really, really love this. I didn't think that I was going to, because normally I don't go for something quite that pink. I love the bronzy peachy colors on my cheek, especially in summer, and I thought that it might be a little crazy pink for my cheeks, but I thought that it went on beautifully, and you can just see the glow. I didn't use any separate highlighter. This is just me going in with a blush brush and kind of using all of these different colors together, and I think that it just gave my cheeks a beautiful glow. And I really like it. Honestly, this is going to be one of my go-to blushes, or I'd even consider it almost a bronzer for the summer. So that's it for today's Pure Cosmetics full face application and review. If you liked this video and found the information helpful, give me a thumbs up, and I'm curious to know if you've tried any of these products or anything else from their line that you like or dislike and why. So be sure to leave me a comment below, and I'll see you on the next one.